Welcome to Hit the Road with Mo and Joy. We're friends that met in kindergarten and we love to travel. Now we're sharing our experiences and inspiring you to explore. Whether you're traveling by sea, in a train, flying high, or road tripping, it's time to hit the road with Mo and Joy. Mo, do you hear that?
I do.
Today is our super special holiday hubaloo Winter Wonderland tinsel-filled Christmas extravaganza show.
Woohoo!
Yay! We have talked about it and we have some fun Christmas memories to share surrounding holiday travel and some wish list items to discuss too. But first, we started with a poll to the audience. Mo, tell us about this poll that we took.
Well, it was quite scientific. The questions were extremely serious. And some of the responses have been just as serious as the questions themselves. So, let's see here. The first one is, do you travel at Thanksgiving or Christmas? The overwhelming majority was no. And then the second close follower, I would say, was Thanksgiving only. People apparently do not like to be away from home at Christmas, Joy.
Right.
Which I kind of get. But I've also kind of been trying to nudge Alex here or there as well the last couple of years that, hey, why don't we do something really different and head for the hills at Christmas? So far, it's a no-go.
No, he wants to be home in his chair with his family and his dog.
Yes. The serious question, sweet potatoes, meaning souffle, marshmallow or pecan topping?
I know the answer to that.
What is it?
Pecan with brown sugar and toasted.
Okay, well, actually, we got a mixed bag on this. Surprisingly, there were more marshmallows than what I was expecting.
That's not Southern.
And then I actually did have one response that said, neither, gross.
Oh, no.
Across the board. I think I'm going to say I have personally had both variations. And I think it really depends on the sweet potato base, right? Like, it can't be runny.
Right.
Just no run whatsoever. Ew.
And if it's chunky, that's not right either.
So it's all about the base.
Yeah, it's got to be smooth and velvety and spun up at the right consistency.
For real. So I think you could go either way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let's go back to that first question. You talked about travel over Thanksgiving or over Christmas.
Right.
So you said Alex says absolutely not, no, never. But would he travel at Thanksgiving time, or have y'all traveled at Thanksgiving time before?
Yeah, and a lot of people also agreed that Thanksgiving travel seems to be more acceptable, so to speak. Although now that we are empty nesters, I do think that there will come a day where we may go do something completely different. It's not that we haven't ever done quote unquote Christmas travels, right? But they've always been a couple of weeks before Christmas or even after Christmas during Christmas break for us. And that seemed to be what most people indicated. But we actually started our first Thanksgiving travel venture back in 2010. And I always know that because it was the year my dad died and there was a lot of turmoil and I was just like, I want to get the heck out of Dodge. Can we just be completely different and head to the mountains, right? Because that's a completely different terrain for us, right, Joy? And we loaded up the kids, and that started kind of a semi-tradition for us. I wouldn't say we've done it 50% of the time since then, but we've definitely done it a handful of times, and we've built a couple of memories. What about you?
Yeah, our family never traveled at Christmas per se, but we did always travel during Thanksgiving. And we would have sort of a family reunion at Thanksgiving time over in North Carolina.
Okay.
And it was the cousins, the great aunts that raised my dad. You know, some of my memories are that I remember Uncle Tom getting really aggravated at me and tickling me till I peed on myself.
Ew.
But in better memories, I remember that it was just so adventurous up there. They had a little bit of land. You could cross the street and you'd be on Lake Norman, and there were all these trees and ditches that you could hide in from people. And
Wait, you got in ditches?
absolutely.
Were they dry at least?
They were a little damp
Ew.
during that time of year. But I was a kid, and it was
Yeah, yeah.
adventurous. It was fun.
True.
And I got all dirty, and it was, yeah. I remember the year that my parents finally let me take my roller skates and roll down this massive paved hill outside of my Aunt Eva Mae's house. It did not go well, but I wasn't too scratched up. But and of course, I had to put up a stiff upper lip so that they would let me do stuff again. But yeah, it hurt.
Aw.
But the food and the spread that they would put on, we would have the yams with pecan and the brown sugary crust that I
You
talked
said
about
yams.
earlier. Yes, sweet potatoes
Okay.
/ yams. But any veggie that you could think of, the turkey. Then my absolute favorite were the mud hen bars from Mexico. And girl, I have not had a mud hen bar for several years. Maybe this is a mud hen year. It's this cakey, nutty, chocolatey, gooey, marshmallowy, yum goodness. Should we give listeners the recipe?
We definitely should, but all the years I've known you, you have not made these so-called mud hen bars.
I've talked about them.
You have talked about them, but you've not delivered. So, I really think this is the year,
Yes,
and you need to deliver and not just chat.
it is the year. My niece, Valia, made them for me a couple of years, and so I did not have to make them.
Oh, well, you could at least steal some from her.
But yes. Or maybe I'll beg her to make them again.
Dang, that's awesome. Honestly, all the years we've known each other, I can honestly say from you just sharing these few memories, I've learned a lot of new things about you. I love all of these memories that you have. I also have a roller skating story.
Oh, do tell.
But there were no hills involved. But at Grandma Betty's, every year when it was at her house, there was just so much, food and whatever. And we had police officers coming in all throughout the day, depending on what their shift was and whatever. And she had like this, I can't even say, it's like this oversized driveway.
Uh-huh.
Like enough to probably easily fit, I don't know, like 12 to 15 cars.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just straight. So like it was perfect for our old school roller skates.
Yes.
I perfected my roller skating skills on that driveway and distinctly remember doing so over Thanksgivings.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. So as for me, I think it's cool that you got to do all the holiday travels. My family growing up never traveled, and I'll say never, during the holidays. I've already described my first holiday travel a few minutes ago. And we actually, that very first time, spent our holiday in Blue Ridge, Georgia. It was wonderful. It was cool to leave the Sunshine State, get up into the mountains. one of the years, I can't remember if it was our first trip or our second trip, but the kids were still young enough to where they were, super worked up about it. But we got snow, Joy. You can imagine what a big deal that was for the boys, honestly. And, we came to love the local apple orchard, the scenic railway. We've done all the different types of tours. I think we started a puzzle tradition. So there would always be like this massive wooden table in the cabin, and over on the far end everyone would make a big to-do to pick the puzzle for that trip. And it would get started, and we would pick at it every day until by the time we were getting ready to leave, it was a completed project.
That's fun.
Yeah, that was always pretty cool, and just really wonderful times. So I genuinely feel very nostalgic about traveling at Thanksgiving these days.
Yeah. Well, when we were planning this episode, we also had some ideas about holiday and Christmas travel to create some lasting memories with the family. And this first one that we came up with is in our backyard. It's the Nights of Lights in St. Augustine. Mo, can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, of course. This is where the historic downtown city of St. Augustine transforms into its glowing winter wonderland. This year, the St. Augustine Night of Lights runs from November 15th all the way until January 11th next year. It is free to the public, although there are some, other types of experiences like the Holly Jolly Trolley or whatever's, tours that you can pay for. But you are free to walk it or just kind of drive through the city if you don't feel like getting out for whatever reason. The kickoff ceremony is on that first day, which is a Saturday, November 15th. It's at 6:30 in just the main plaza area. For those who have not experienced it, it's very, I think it's probably a very well-known Christmas display. I think it gets a fair amount of attention locally, but there's a lot of visitors that come in. It's a big tourist attraction. And what you can kind of expect is they put up over 3 million white lights. This is over buildings, the bridges, trees, landmarks, all of the individual businesses, and most of the restaurants. They will also do kind of their own things to add to the display. So it's the entire downtown area. From the Bayfront to Cordova Street, the glows start nightly at dusk, which is generally 5:30 p.m. or after Eastern Standard Time. This event has earned accolades from National Geographic and Rachel Ray magazine as one of the world's best holiday light displays. And we talked a little bit about ways that you can experience it. I know one year we actually did join in the touristy thing. Our family, the in-laws, father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-laws, brothers-in-laws, all the laws, right? We did the Holly Jolly Trolley. It honestly was pretty fun if you can get into the vibe. And riding on the trolley, it's open, so you get to do all the things. And of course, they play all the holiday songs, and they want you to sing, and they want you to interact with all the people who are walking around, right? So it can be as fun as you're willing to make it.
Yeah, I took my mom to Nights of Lights one year, or I tried to. Something got janked up and we weren't able to do the train ride for some reason. But we had a lovely dinner at the historic Rain Tree Restaurant.
Oh, nice.
Which is in a beautiful former Victorian home dating before the 1870s. The service there is great. The food was great. She felt like a princess. They had white tablecloths, which is a really big deal for her. I myself would like to go back to Nights of Lights and do like one of the boat cruises. I think it'd just be totally unique to see it from the water And I was looking, and they have like Holly Jolly boat tours with like a wine and cheese tasting at the same time. So I was like, oh, I want to do that.
That sounds fun. I think we should get that booked. I've not done that. And you saying that reminds me, Joy, I think, and I don't know what the schedule is. We should probably try to look it up and put it in the show notes. But it seems like I remember that they do a boat holiday parade at some points, right? So like the boats themselves decorate and whatever, and they do like a parade out there, which is a lot of people love to go watch that as well. So I forgot all about that until you said that.
No, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to that a couple of years. That was fun.
Awesome.
Well, our next travel suggestion is the Charles Dickens Christmas in Franklin, Tennessee. And Mo, you have some personal experience with this one, but let me tell our listeners about it if they were unfamiliar with it like I am. It's officially called the Dickens of a Christmas, and it's a beloved Victorian-themed street festival that's held in historic downtown Franklin. In 2025, it's going to take place December 13th and 14th. It's an annual event, now in its 40th year.
Dang.
And it transforms Franklin's charming Main Street into a scene straight out of Charles Dickens' novel. And here's what makes it magical. The streets come alive with costumed characters from the Dickens classics, like Ebenezer Scrooge, Tiny Tim, Fagin from Oliver Twist, Father and Mother Christmas hand out treats to the children. They've got live performances by musicians, dancers, carolers, and interactive street theater. They've got local vendors lining the streets with handcrafted gifts, holiday treats, and seasonal fare. It's family-friendly fun. They have activities for kids including craft stations, photo ops, and holiday games. And this is Middle Tennessee's largest outdoor Christmas festival, drawing over 150,000 visitors in recent years. Mo, can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I mean, you just did a really great job describing all the details. We did get to go. It was a little while back now, and we got to join our longtime friends, Lynn, John, and Lolo. One of the evenings, we took the bus tour that is offered. I don't remember where you picked that up at, but I'm sure it'd be fairly easy to determine that. This festival was actually the first time I'd ever experienced something like this, and it was all the things that you described. They really do it up. People truly have the outfits from that era. They try to talk kind of also in that area, which is really cool. They really try to make it authentic. There are literally so many booths, so many things to see. People who do like real artisan crafts. So the first thing that jumps into my mind, and some people that like to have jokes will probably get a kick out of it, but I distinctly recall one of the booths was a husband and wife team, and they live somewhere up on the Northeast, and they travel only to specific events like this, and they make their own custom brooms.
Oh.
And they're very interesting and colorful, but handmade by them. That was pretty cool. I remember myself buying the softest scarf there that I have still to this date ever owned. And truly, the food trucks, oh my gosh, food galore, tents, restaurants. It was just everything that you could imagine. There were tons of people, Joy, but it also wasn't like miserable to navigate. You know how I am not a fan of the crowds where you can't move. So I love to call out that it was very well attended, but it's not miserable to navigate. Let's see. Let's think through a couple of other things. Let's see here. A couple of years back, I did Christmas at the Biltmore, also with Lynn and John and Lolo, and we had a great time. Let's see, this year it looks like Biltmore Christmas runs from November 1st to January 4th. They offer a dazzling holiday experience at America's largest private home, which is located up in Asheville, North Carolina. So here they transform, it's an 8,000 acre estate.
Wow.
And they really do up like the wreaths and the lights. And what's really amazing is all throughout the house, they have just, I don't even know how many decorated Christmas trees, Joy.
Over 100.
Oh, well, aren't you smart and fancy? And they're just so beautifully decorated and themed for the room or whatever the case may be. So I guess one of the highlights is the 35-foot Fraser fir that lives in the banquet hall. And let's see, a couple of little fun facts. 25,000 plus ornaments, 100,000 plus lights, and almost 2,000 live poinsettias are situated throughout the entire display.
That's a lot.
And and the estate just as a whole.
Wow.
You know, obviously there are other venues on the property. There's a winery, there's a stable. So there's all kind of different things that you can experience. And I recall the normal daytime ticket, and then there's also a candlelight Christmas evening. And I can tell you that our last visit with our friends, we did both, which I'd never done the nighttime before. And I would say if you've never done it before, it's recommended. It definitely was a different vibe to go back at night and to be able to experience all of the beauty, because obviously it's just not the same when you can't see the lights and whatnot during the daytime.
Right. I've been to the Biltmore, but I've never been there at Christmas or at night, and it sounds magical to me. I feel like I was there kind of in fall, and I spent a lot of time in the garden, not as much time in the house.
Yeah.
And walking the grounds and stuff like that. So the next place on our list we kind of have to mention, because again, it's in our backyard, and while you and I are not those type of people, there are those type of people. So what are we talking about? Disney World. Yay. It looks like they have a lot going on at their parks too, at each of them. So a little blurb says, Christmas at Walt Disney World in 2025 runs from November the 14th to December the 31st, with some of the events starting as early as November the 7th. It's one of the most magical times to visit, with festive decor, themed entertainment, and special holiday events across all 4 parks. But I would like to mention that because this year I got season passes to Dollywood, I am planning to go to Dollywood this Christmas time. Dollywood is the anti-Disney theme park in my estimation. And for me, it's just so much less crowded, so much less crazy. I can't really explain why, but I did hear somebody say that it's the grandparents' theme park. But yes, I would recommend, if you haven't gone to Dollywood yet, maybe try that this year.
So I'll say, I know I personally have a lot of friends who are diehard Disneys. I think you and I tend to agree on some of this. I definitely tend to be more crowd averse. So the times that I've gone with the kids, I definitely hand pick Disney at a boring January or February day, just for my preferences. But I can recall, I've never done Christmas at Disney. However, I have heard from people that their Christmas, I think they do like a themed Christmas dinner, or there's something, I have heard nothing but good. And I can also say that, gosh, many years back, well, wait a minute, hold on now, I might be misspeaking. I think we actually did, so the Christmas ticket is a separate ticket from what I understand. Now that I think about it, I do think that we went when Xander was almost out of high school. And it was really, really beautiful. But the one that stands out to me the most was way further back. We went during the Halloween display. And I can't remember which park we went to, but it was so great. Just the pumpkins. And, you know, I love my fall colors. So I definitely think that there's some value in some of that. We actually did get the opportunity, Joy, to do Dollywood at Christmas a couple of years back. We were in town for a conference, and I remember the decorations being so well done. They weren't gaudy, but they were so colorful. At the time, the weather had gotten a little bit cool, but with them displaying the Christmas lights on top of the already just normal nighttime, you know, amusement park kind of situation, it really was really pretty. Speaking of kind of being in our backyard, you know, last year I finally was able to take my mom to Mount Dora. That's one of the things, as you know, she's wanted to do for quite a while. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I honestly thought that it was really beautiful. The only hiccup that we personally had was, unfortunately, our main night we were there, we wound up getting slowed down by some rain. But the town really does take Christmas to heart. We even went to one of the local parks, which was right there on the water. And oh my gosh, like the lights, the icicle light displays that were coming down from like the big, large oak trees and whatever. Oh my gosh, it was so pretty. I do have lots of pictures out on Hit the Road with Mo Instagram, but you know, Joy will definitely upload some of these specifics to the website. Let's kind of talk about a wish list for just a second, because I've kind of had like this dreamy feel for Dahlonega, Georgia. And I know when I first told you this, you kind of laughed at me and you're like, where did you come up with that? And my super basic answer was, well, duh. I've seen a few features on Southern Living magazine a couple of times over the years, and I've just always wondered, does it live up to the magazine dream that it kind of presents? Funny enough, we have friends. She's actually from Dahlonega and still goes back routinely. And she actually dangled the carrot and said,
oh, sweet.
It lives up to the dream. So you know, Joy, what that means.
You have to go.
Yes, and you should come along.
Dahlonega.
Yes, it's kind of a long haul, though. I think it's like an 8-hour drive from here. It's like north, I think.
Right. And Georgia's right there, but Dahlonaga's way
there.
Way through it. So, 2 things on my wish list.
Okay.
One, I always imagine myself on a tropical beach during winter, even though it's not that cold here. I just think that we should be on a tropical island at Christmas, and I really connect when I see those Christmas cards with Santa on a beach chair. I don't know, that's my thing. But secondly, you know, I went on a trip with my friend Colette and a group of her friends to Outer Banks, North Carolina.
Okay.
They had rented this ginormous 3-story house on the beach. I think there wound up being about 20 people. Whoa. And they split the cost up. So there were several families, diverse age groups. You know, they brought their kids, they brought their basset hounds. Each night, one of the groups was given the task to cook for everybody that night. You know, I didn't know anybody, but I thought it was such a neat idea that everybody was getting away. Everyone was minus their daily distractions. We cooked, we played games, we cleaned, we looked at the ocean. We got a little bored. That was fine. I like being bored. We might go out during the day and go see the lighthouses or see the town. But in the evenings, we'd gather and have that meal together, and it was just so cool. And it's something I'd love to recreate with, you know, my family or my friend group one day. And I kind of got a little taste of that with us going on the summer baseball tours with you and your family. We would, again, we'd cook, we'd go to baseball games, we'd play games in the evening, watch movies, whatever it is. So what are your memories of those baseball tournaments?
It's funny, the first thing that popped in my mind when you ended with that was being in Greer, South Carolina.
Yes.
And what a beautiful town. It was so homey. But
it was July 4th, right?
Right.
So it's so patriotic as well.
Yes. So there was so much to that. We had the railroad for your brother Jay. We had the unique ability to walk to the little downtown from our home that we were renting. So there was just a lot of freedom. And for that trip, we had Mikey as well as 2 other guys. So we had Blake and Carson. And I distinctly recall us having taco night. Do you remember the taco night?
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
So all the taco stuff was like
it was such a mess.
It was laid out on the island, and everyone was just making the rounds and digging in, and the TV was going. The other thing that really jumped out to me was the actual fireworks. And you're right, the town was just so patriotically decorated, and there were very fun activities to do in the town. But I remember us gathering out all of our chairs that we use for baseball games, piled them out at the foot of the driveway, and we literally had the front row seats to the fireworks. And we were all out there together.
Yeah.
It was just great.
Good memories.
They were great memories. And it's so crazy to think that all of those high school things are now done. But in other news, all that talk about your Christmas Santa and a beach chair sentiment, I just still feel that Christmas is supposed to be the greens and the reds and cool weather, even though that's a little bit laughable down here in the Sunshine State, right? But I really loved everything that you were describing from the Outer Banks. I would love to recreate that. Those are just irreplaceable memories.
Absolutely.
That you can make with sometimes friends of old, as well as possibly new friends to be, or just friends for the time. Yeah. Regardless, they all blend together and create the special memory, right?
Warm Christmas memories.
Aw. Well, Joy, thank you so much for coming up with this Christmas extravaganza idea. This has been so much fun. I've loved all the memories. I hope everyone enjoys all the pictures that we are going to put out there for this. It's been great to relive these specific memories and also even just to learn new things about you when sometimes it feels like there's really nothing new to learn. But right. Isn't that also part of the relationship progress?
Right. Always learning. Well, you guys, we want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas, Mo.
Merry Christmas, Joy, and to everyone else.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Hit the Road with Mo and Joy. If you have questions or topic suggestions, we would love to hear from you. You can connect with us through our website at hittheroadwithmoandjoy.com. On the website, you'll find all the things: socials, blogs, recommendations, inspiration, and things you might need to know for upcoming travel. And if you'd like to partner or advertise with us and connect with our amazing audience across the country, feel free to reach out to us at hittheroadwithmoandjoy.com/media. That's it from us this week, but don't forget, get out there and explore.